Your review, I'm gonna react to how child fame ruined Ryan Sheckler's life.
The most controversial skaters in history, but also one of the most iconic. He won his first X Games gold medal at just 13 years old, secured his own MTV show, and has landed some of the gnarliest skate tricks we have ever seen. But being a child star led him...
Yo, could y'all skate, bro? Cause, I tried to skateboard like once in my life, but I can't do that shit. And I've seen other people like skateboard, do like skateboard tricks on YouTube and shit. And some of them was fire, but some of them like was not fire, bro. It was not valid. Some of them be getting injured. They be having broken bones, all that, bro. So yeah, I'm scared of that.
To being manipulated and taken advantage of. The fame and fortune came with a lot of sacrifice and exhaustion. The chaotic lifestyle was unsustainable for Sheckler, and eventually it all came crashing down, forcing him to do whatever it takes to get control of his life again. Southern California is the skateboarding capital of the world. Ryan Sheckler was lucky enough to be born there. He got his hands on a skateboard before he could even walk, and from there, he was hooked. Every skateboarder remembers their first kickflip. Ryan landed his at just 6 years old. That same year, which was 1996, Ryan entered his first California Amateur Skateboarding League contest and won. He continued competing with CASL yearly, quickly becoming recognized as a child prodigy. Several skate brands wanted an opportunity to invest in the upcoming star. Edney's Skate Shoe Company gave him his first pair of free shoes, and he skated in their brand for the rest of his career. But at 8 years old, Ryan was about to experience his first time being exploited as a child star. Ryan earned his first magazine cover, which is a huge accomplishment for a skateboarder, but it was for Big Brother magazine. Big Brother was a skateboarding magazine notorious for their edgy articles, lewd pictures of women, and publishing filthy shock value material that parents did not want their children exposed to. In 1998, baby-faced Ryan was featured on the cover of their Kids issue, which was obviously a troll because the material in this publication was not for kids. This particular issue would lead to the downfall of the company. Ryan's parents didn't really understand what they signed up for, and they later denounced the magazine and kept it pushing. By the time Ryan was 13, he was an incredible skater, but he couldn't make any money due to his amateur status under the World Industries brand. Most 13-year-olds are not thinking about money, but he was way too talented and popular to not profit. So he decided to skateboard professionally after he was contacted by Almost Skateboards to represent their brand. Almost was founded by Ryan's idol and skateboarding legend, Rodney Mullen. And even though he spent his entire amateur career with World Industries, he switched teams. The decision to turn pro basically ruined all chances of Ryan having a stable upbringing. It's hard to know if he really wanted this for himself or if his parents felt like they needed to profit from their child's successful hobby. Either way, Ryan was about to become an adult many years too early, which would do damage that has lasted a lifetime. 13-year-old brace-face Ryan made his X Games debut in 2003 and faced off against legends such as Eric Costin, Mike Vallely, and Chad Muska. He dominated them all in the skateboard park event and became the youngest gold medalist in X Games history. Ryan looked as natural and fluid on his board as any veteran in the contest. This event was broadcasted all over the world, and his fame leveled up like crazy after winning. His brother Shane vividly remembers big companies started to pursue him, and TV channels wanted to book him for interviews. You could tell something crazy was about to happen. Ryan was now considered parallel with 5, 10, 15-year skating veterans. He was one of them. I would feel so nervous I'd think I was about to cry, but I realized that I loved that feeling of fighting through to find my composure to plan my runs. That year, I just felt unstoppable. Ryan was unstoppable, and he was surrounded by much older men who wanted to show him this crazy lifestyle. Pro skateboarders are required to travel city to city, hunting for rails, gaps, stair sets, and skate spots to film parts for a video or magazine. Drink water, by the way. For 8 months out of the year.
That's a fact. Drink water. I'm gonna drink water. I'm gonna drink more water too.
13-year-old Ryan was on the road. This usually leads to late nights and nothing near a consistent daily routine. King of the Road is a show created by Thrasher and Vice, where teams of skaters are given a book of challenges that they have to complete. For example,
alright, missions. Skate the 13th stair at Skyline High. Build a 3-man skateboard with 3 men riding
Like all skate videos, it's the behind-the-scenes clips that usually become more memorable, like Bam Margera's crazy stunts or Rob Dyrdek's skits with Big Black. Ryan's King of the Road part became notorious for the clip of him making out with a 24-year-old woman. Ryan, who was only 14 years old at the time, was being hyped up by his older friends. Obviously, if the gender roles were reversed...
Yeah, bro. What if a 24-year-old man kiss a 14-year-old girl, bro? Niggas will be wildin', bro. Niggas will say, oh, like, he should be in jail but this 24-year-old woman should be in jail, bro. Kissed a 14-year-old boy, bro.
None of this would have been acceptable, but Ryan's life was moving at 100 miles per hour and he was not being guided properly. And the harsh reality is, these acts of hazing or initiation probably made him seem cooler and more popular in the skating community. At this point, he was skating at an all-time high. In 2005 and 2006, he finished top 3 in almost every event he skated in. 14 to 16-year-old Ryan Sheckler was definitely his prime skating years. Huge stair sets, long down rails, massive gaps. Ryan was fearless and undeniably rad. If he was this good at 16, we can only imagine what will happen in his 20s. His fame and fan base were growing rapidly. He was the inspiration for kids all around the world to get into skateboarding. But Ryan wanted to remain in school. He was constantly surrounded by adults and began feeling out of touch with people his age. While he admits that his older teammates and friends allowed him to build character and prepare for adulthood, he ultimately needed a childhood, surrounded by other children. His freshman year, he was able to balance normal high school and work, but his skating success took all of his time and forced him to be homeschooled during his sophomore and junior year. This decision would lead to a massive opportunity that would change his life. Ryan's close friend and fellow skateboarder Rob Dyrdek came up with the idea for Ryan to have a reality TV series. Rob had multiple successful shows with MTV and was convinced that Ryan's chaotic lifestyle
They show ridiculous and still airs on TV, bro.
Would make for great television. Ryan agreed to do it and secured his own MTV show for 3 seasons. Life of Ryan followed the teenage skateboarder as he went about his daily life. Parties, skating contests, girlfriends, and arguments with the family. Season 1 debuted to over 2 million viewers per episode, and Ryan was approaching A-list celebrity status. He became like the Justin Bieber of skateboarding, gained a massive fan base of teenage girls who treated him like a young heartthrob. Wherever Ryan went, television cameras and paparazzi followed. One time he was shut down in a Chili's restaurant in Orange County, and the SWAT team came to break up the crowds. The fame and fortune he could handle. But behind the scenes at MTV, something much darker was happening. Monday through Friday, he woke up with multiple cameras in his face. Everywhere he went, he had a crew of 25 people with him, which was exciting, yet stressful, and ultimately
Mad people are surrounding him, bro. All up in his Kool-Aid, bro.
Led to outbursts. Off-camera, producers would instruct his mother to say certain things they knew would upset Ryan, causing him to have tantrums on camera. While the show was not scripted, the producers understood certain family dynamics and used this knowledge to cause unnecessary drama for ratings. The dynamic with his parents began to change. He started calling the shots and living life
Knows business, you know. It's not about it's not about friendship, it's business, bro.
His terms, since he was financially independent. In one particular scene, he didn't clean his room when his parents asked, which ended up being an explosive argument, ending when Ryan slammed the door in his father's face. Ryan left for a few days to skate, and when he came back, his father was gone. Shortly after, his parents were filing for a divorce. MTV producers were licking their chops because they had a juicy storyline, and deep down, Ryan thought his parents' divorce was because of him. He was blindsided. He genuinely thought they had a loving relationship, and they always supported Ryan's dreams. So once all of this stress reached a tipping point, he thought it was because they focused too much on Ryan's career instead of their marriage. As if it couldn't get any worse, Ryan's perception in the skateboard community started to change negatively, mainly because the show portrayed him as an impulsive and spoiled child, rather than just a rad skater. These 23-minute episodes were mostly filled with Ryan's worst moments rather than his awesome talents. Ryan was openly vulnerable on camera, but was met with criticism online from the skate community, with many mocking him for being soft and calling him Crying Ryan. But Ryan didn't find this out himself. MTV producers told him that's what people were calling him online, and they strategically waited to tell him this new nickname until he was feeling emotional on camera, which prompted him to cry again. Straight up psychological.
Proving them right. Crying Ryan.
Manipulation of a child. By the end of season 2, the cast no longer wanted to be there, but they were forced to do a third season due to a clause in their contract. When Ryan initially accepted the offer to have his own reality TV series, he told himself that if the show ever interfered with skating, he would quit entirely. And that was about to come true. MTV finally hit Ryan's tipping point when they started forcing him to break up with his girlfriends on camera.
So we break up once, and then cameras are on, we break up again, cut. Now the mood's really awkward, and then, you know, they come over to me and they're like, hey, that wasn't enough.
This winter, make the shortest days the fullest.
We need to do it again. And so that's where the show became acting, and it became like this thing where it was like, this is not what we signed up for, and this is not what it started out as. Like, it broke my heart, dude. It broke my heart, and it, like, I don't know. Borderline traumatized me. I didn't get into a relationship after the show until I was 25 years old. What? Because I didn't want to have to go through a breakup again. I have a heart, man, and I have very strong emotions, and I do not like hurting people's feelings. I do not. And so to blatantly have to hurt people's feelings over and over again for the sake of television, for ratings, literally.
He kept his word and quit the show midway through season 3. MTV was obviously very upset, but what they did was pretty wild. They abruptly aired the entirety of season 3 in one day, released all of the episodes on a random Tuesday morning back-to-back to avoid breaching their contract. After that, MTV never aired a single episode of Life of Ryan ever again on their network. Ryan admits this is where his life got a little bit darker. He turned to alcohol to fix all of his problems once he turned 18, a habit that would ultimately get out of control. Ryan was spending money like crazy. Penthouse suites, supercars, jewelry, private flights. He spent $1 million on bottle service, tables, and clubs. He would set a goal to win skate competitions in order to purchase more things to fill the empty void caused by his drinking and trauma. But make no mistake, he was still skating at a high level. In 2008, he secured his second gold medal in X Games Street, and his shift to focusing on skating full-time proved to be working. Ryan traveled to California and unintentionally stumbled across Thrasher Magazine's Buster Bale skating event. Ryan abruptly decided to enter the contest and landed a massive backside flip down the 16th stair, which earned him a first-place win. After the competition, he continued his trip around California and encountered the infamous El Toro, located on the campus of El Toro High School in Lake Forest, California. The El Toro 20 was named after its 20 concrete steps that have witnessed some of the most iconic moments in BMX and skateboarding history. Since Ryan just landed a massive backside flip down 16, he was confident that he could do the same trick down El Toro, which would...
It looks cool, but that shit is dangerous at the same time. Because you could hurt yourself, break a bone.
It's just a few more stairs. He told his friends, teammates, and word spread around the skateboard community that Ryan was going to attempt arguably the biggest backside flip in history. This overconfidence would lead to a decision that destroyed his reputation forever. He unexpectedly broke his foot. This injury halted Ryan's plan to skate.
See? Injuries can happen while you're skateboarding.
El Toro and left him in a cast for several weeks. One day, while at Etney Skate Park in Lake Forest, Ryan came face to face with Jake Phelps, an iconic magazine editor who worked for Thrasher Magazine. During their interview, Phelps asked Ryan if he completed the trick. Intimidated by his presence, Ryan lied to him and told him that he had completed the trick. According to Ryan, he intended to skate down El Toro once his injury healed and already believed he could complete the trick since he did something similar weeks prior. Unfortunately for Ryan, he had just committed a skateboarding cardinal sin, lying about landing a massive trick. For months, the skateboarding community expected to see the footage in an upcoming Plan B video. A backside flip down El Toro would be considered top 10 Hall of Fame skateboarding tricks. However, the footage never made it on the project. Over time, the longer Ryan took to release the footage, the speculation arose that he may have lied about it. In 2014, instead of just finding the video footage and releasing it himself, Ryan decided to redo the dangerous move for an upcoming skate film called Etney's Album. And although he got close, he never landed the backside flip, injuring himself in the process. The footage was taken out of the final cut, but was eventually leaked onto the internet many years later, sending the skateboard community into a frenzy. If people didn't like Ryan before, they hated him now. He was heading into his early 20s and what most skaters see as their prime years. Now he had a chip on his shoulder. Some of the skate community thought of him as a sellout, a liar, nothing more than a pretty boy to be the face of the sport. But he won X Games gold for the third time in 2010, and 3 consecutive Dew Tour street-style first-place finishes from 2012 to 2014. His contemporaries respected his skills, but while he was skating at an elite level, he suffered from an insane amount of injuries.
Broke my left elbow 6 times, right elbow 4 times with plates and screws in here. Liz Frank injury on my right foot, completely separated the first metatarsal and had to get that. That took over a year to heal.
The injuries never affected his skating performance, but he did have a lot of spare time to get drunk. Around 2014, Ryan had enough, and he could no longer manage this lifestyle.
I wanted to stop partying. I wanted to stop drinking. And I couldn't do it. What made Oslo the breaking point for me was that out of my whole life, the one thing that I have had this crazy, intense passion for, which is skateboarding and competing. I'm in Oslo and I want nothing to do with skateboarding. I don't want to be a skateboarder. I don't want to be a competitor. I don't even want to skate anymore. I want to just go take the money I've made, get off the map and go party. I just want to kind of wanted to end it, you know? Not so, but I didn't want to be in the public's eye anymore.
His mother, who had always supported him, encouraged Ryan to start treatment for his addiction. He said it was the scariest day of his life, but it strengthened his relationship with his mother. Sheckler attended an in-person rehab and was fully committed to his recovery. His last first-place victory was in 2014 at the age of 25. His presence in skateboarding dwindled after getting sober. He embraced Christianity and devoted himself to becoming a role model across all aspects of his life. He eventually apologized for lying about the El Toro incident in numerous interviews. Skateboarders still harass me everywhere I go. I don't feel like skaters should be hating on each other. I owned up to it. I apologized for it. It showed me the power of what one lie can do, though. I haven't told a lie since. He started touring with his charity, the Sheckler Foundation, donating $10,000 grants to underprivileged communities across the country. He dedicates a lot of his time pushing the next generation of youth skaters. Although he spent a lot of money recklessly as a teenager, he made a lot of great business decisions as well, becoming a part owner of the men's and women's underwear company Ethica, which is now a multi-million-dollar brand. He recently launched his own Sheckler branded skateboards under his company called Sandlot Times. He is also a partner in Palm Springs Surf Club, which is basically a $100 million surfing playground. Ryan never formally retired from skating, but competitive skateboarding was his whole life since he was 13. He never really got a chance to live normally. He still skates at a high level, but he probably won't ever be a competitive threat to the guys in their 20s. His life was going 100 miles per hour from age 13 to 25. The skateboard community went from loving him to hating him to now respecting his legacy. This life definitely took a toll on Ryan. You could see it in his face. But today, sober Ryan Sheckler has a new lease on life, and this time, he's in full control.
Okay, what y'all think about Ryan Sheckler, bro? And if y'all a fan of him, how do y'all like him? Do y'all like him? Do y'all think he's better than Tony Tony Hawk when it comes to skateboarding? Let me know, bro. So how did y'all feel about his reality show? So yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the vibes. WavyOcho checking out you are.